Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. Although this is a Lenormand reading, and I'm using this new little deck I got, Mondnacht. I think it's Mondnacht. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's from Germany. Came with a cool little bag. And if you like this deck, you can find it on Etsy. So anyway, the question I'm posing to the cards here was a viewer question, and I'm sorry I forgot to write down who asked the question, but it is about the Parler movement, and I believe it's Parler, not Parlay, because it's founded by Americans in Henderson, Nevada. So there's that. You guys can Google that if you want to find out more about them. But they're basically people that, it's for people who got banned from Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, and other social media platforms. But anyway, back to the question. How does Parler relate to a possible resurgence for Trump, is the question. And I'm going to add to it by asking, will Parler help Trump be successful in his resurgence or not? Like, how will this be? How will it go down? And it might be for both, the platform and him, or maybe nothing can help him, or maybe they'll help him, greatly. We'll see. Okay, so success or not for Donald John Trump and his family through the Parler movement. Through the platform of Parler. Okay. Give me a moment while I get these in frame here. And then we'll dive in. Make sure there's let me get up here a little bit further so there's plenty of room for the closed captions. Okay, so we have, starting off like right out of the gate, we have the letter card, which relates to all information that comes across the internet in this in the context of this question. And this card, the cross card, has to do with a painful ending. This has to do with guilt and self-responsibility, like their cross to bear. Like, is it truth or not? That's their cross to bear. But this is a card of burden and pain and grief and guilt. Now, if you were doing a reading for yourself using the Lenormand, and the question was, what should I do? And you knew that you don't have any grief to get rid of or clear out or go through or process. And your question was, what should I do about what? Maybe a plan you already have in action. Then this card can be just to keep the faith, have faith. If you're a religious person, it could be, to go to church. There's that possibility. But in the context of this question, which is always the most important thing to remember when it comes to any divination system, is to always go back to the context of your question. So this has to do with information that is painful, that is burdened, that causes grief. And then bringing in the garden card, the garden or the park card. This has to do with a network. So this is an information network that is established, but it's established coming from pain and grief. You have to remember, these people were so dark and so full of conspiracy theory and so mean and anti-Semitic and just dark, that they got banned They got banned. And you only get banned by spreading spreading lies and having no truth. And you only get banned by being cruel and mean and possibly dangerous. But so in the future, there's a loss here. And these two cards are the theme and central to, the reading. So there's a loss for them online. The Stars card is all about the internet. This has to do, like I said, public platform, networking, but there's a loss. The mice card is always a loss. It can sometimes minimize something, but in the context of this question, there's a loss to their improvement and their future and, their action, maybe even causing them, to change, even though there could be some type of like a relationship, commitment, or coming together with the ring card for Trump and the Trump family, because we have the tree card here. We can see that they're in it with them, but there's a loss. And so their presence over the internet will be minimized, and it will create a loss for any improvement. And it's because they're so risky. And it is risky for both families. This is a platform of, opportunity, but this doesn't look good. So let's leave these here. I'm going to draw a few more cards just to see, because this was all about, the resurgence for Trump. I want to see the future of Parler. And we'll see how many trolls I get. You guys would not believe the amount of trolling. And I honestly usually only have one or two, sometimes none every day. And they're always like, hot girls online, things like that. It's ridiculous. And they're from other countries. But I rarely have very many trolls. But man, when I read on Trump, and I'm sorry, not Trump, Trump, the maggots, when I read on the Trump lovers, ooh, I got a lot of dirty comments. Okay, so I'm going to draw 4 more cards to see the future for Parler. The future for Parler, the truth, only the truth about the future for this organization called Parler. Okay. Well, interesting. Okay, so I don't see that there's any lack of success here. Well, this is their institution, but this could be the government. With the Tower card can very well, in the Lenormand, the Tower card can very well be the government. So something surprising, either from the government or their institution, the structure could have something surprising that comes down really quickly. The Sun card reveals, so maybe they're going to reveal something. I need more cards. That's the thing with the Lenormand. You're looking at stringing sentences together, but still, the structure of their institution will have something surprising really quick. Something will be revealed from them really quickly, and it may or may not be good for Trump. But I was looking at, for him, there's a loss. I don't see that there's going to be much success. I mean, there's a goal here and online, but this is a loss. And it could even be that they leave, you know, the relationship with him. But let's see. The future for Parler. Secrets. Or this could be the law coming down on them. Yeah, and it's not good. It could be secrets or the law coming down because there's something really convoluted and, you know, that betrays. With the snake, it's all about betrayal and bites and toxic environments. A toxicity, most of all. Danger, you know, enemies, some kind of a rival. But yeah, being like toxic venom. So it could be because of their toxic venom, or the venom that's on the site itself, that there are people who care. Oh, and this, well, I guess, you know, there is a care for the free flow of, you know, information that's not, what's the word? Censored. You know, I mean, if these people want to be hateful and emotionally reactive and just get online and blurt, yeah, communicate from that emotionally reactive place, then I guess that's their prerogative. But it's dark, and we can see the, oops, I'm sorry, hold on, right here. So this would be the communication, and then you've got the dark side of the clouds on the communication. So that's not good. But I don't see like an ending. If there was an ending, I would have gotten. I mean, it's definitely, can see it's toxic, but it could be that by law they're allowed, because, you know, what do you call the you know, First Amendment, the right, the, oops, I'm doing this the wrong way. First Amendment right to free speech, right? And as far as like financial backers, well, I guess they would do that. They would get that with just ads. But I think they're banned. They're banned from YouTube. They're banned from Facebook. They're banned from Twitter. Yeah, they're going to have their loyal followers. But then, oh, at some point, their loyalty will be blocked. So this is probably long into the future, and yeah, and some alternative, but then they might branch off into some other alternative, another abusive platform. Interesting. Okay, so short story is, I don't see it going well for Trump, and it's because of the level of toxicity and hate. But I don't think any time in the near future they're going to have any trouble, you know, being shut down. I think that it's going to take a long time and a lot of, you know, like legal recourse, legal law, you know, recourse to change that in some way. But then again, I mean, you know, that's our First Amendment, you know, right, is to free speech. So, but it looks like, you know, it could be a very abusive platform. Oh, it obviously is. If they're anti-Semitic and they're anti-this and they're racist and they have their ideology that is just based in hate, it's painful. So, okay. Well, that's all I have for that. It just, again, it will not be successful for Trump, because anybody that's sane doesn't want to get on board with that. But the insanity and the toxicity with the snake card that I had here, the toxicity and the dark clouds, that's not good. At some point there will be a big obstacle for them to get past, but it's going to take some time. Okay, so that's all I have for this one. Thanks you guys for being patient with me while I went through all those cards. Okay, bye.